Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. And welcome to Movies TV Mad Live. How are we doing today? Smash the like button, please. And check out my poll. What will you see first? Avatar 2, Shazam Fury of the Gods. Shazam Fury of the Gods is getting a lot of support. I'm surprised. I would be going to see Shazam Fury of the Gods first, of course, because I love DC. The Legend CJ, are they fired yet? I hope so. I think they're pretty much done. That's what I'm hearing. I think they're pretty much done. Because they can't. People are going to boycott those films. It can't be done. It's not possible. Trill J, they don't. They're done. They are done, Trill J. They are done. It's over. There can be no debate. People are not going to go and see those films with those people in them. People are not going to forget. It's a mess. They had 4 movies advertised for this year. They had to move their schedule, partially because of these two actors. So there can be no situation where people say, well, people will forget. No, people will not forget. They were going to have a great year this year. 4 movies. They were going to do their multiverse strategy through the Flash movie. It was going to be great. It was going to be exciting. And they ruined it. They ruined it. Simple as that. Malik Pride, they should connect Constantine and the Batman and start a universe on that. Hashling, me. Yo, Mike, good evening to you. Hashling, me. Children, one being false about a person's character and one attacking people, but nah, yeah, they've got to go. I mean, it doesn't really matter what WB think. There's no way around it. Because if it was all right, those 2 movies where those problematic people were involved in wouldn't be delayed. We would have had 4 epic DC movies this year. The Legend CJ, yeah, I don't think showing the Flash movie is the best thing. No, what I think they're going to do, now I've heard rumours, and we've all heard the same rumours, that Shazam Fury of the Gods and Black Adam will have reshoots next to each other geographically. I believe those 2 movies will be connected, as I said on today's DCEU Daily, connected. And I think it wouldn't surprise me if we even see Black Adam and Shazam cross paths in one of those movies. John, can the Snyderverse continue without Ezra and Amber? With Amber, definitely. With Ezra, they would have to recast him because they do need that character. So it's problematic. Trill J, John, no, it cannot. Of course it can. But we'll have to see what they're thinking. Ezra Miller complicates the restoration of the Snyderverse. There's no question about that. And when you're all ready, I'm going to give you my pitch for a brand new DC live action universe. Harry Pothead, what if Ezra improves his behavior? Harry, my friend, Harry, think about what you're saying. Think about what you're saying. He is offended, then re-offended. He has no intention of improving. After being released from the police station in Hawaii the other day, he went back and started partying again. So he's not going to improve his behavior. Manic Pride, let's hear your pitch. Cool. Sean Lee, would Henry Cavill appear in Shazam 2? It's a possibility. I do know that Dave Zaslav asked Tom Cruise what he thought, what kind of experiences he had with Henry Cavill on Mission Impossible Fallout, and Tom Cruise said yes. Henry Cavill is a professional. He's a very good actor. He behaved himself, and he can't believe that he hasn't been in a Man of Steel sequel. So that was very good from Tom Cruise. It looks like my feed's not too great, is it? So what have I got plugged in? I wonder if I should switch off my phone. It shouldn't be an issue, really. Trill J, even if it can, I'm over that verse. It didn't appeal to the main audience. The confusion put DC here. I want DC to go forth being good. I hope Zaslav moves us on. John, how has your day been, Mick? Very well, thank you, John. And Jaws, Harry Pothead, has Zaslav fired the individual who decided to release Shazam 2 in the same day as Avatar 2? Well, considering that individual's probably Toby Emmerich, no. But I don't think he's long for this world, that's for sure, in entertainment. And I think Hamada's history as well. Right, who wants to hear my pitch then, right? Jesus, the feed is so crap, man. The feed is so crap. What is going on? I'm going to switch off my phone. That's it. Let's switch it off. Right. Ronnie Dodge. Hey, mate. Hey, Ronnie, I'm just about to give my pitch for a brand new DC live action universe. When you're all sitting comfortably, the feed isn't too great tonight. It keeps on pausing and it's pretty shit for some reason. I don't know why. Harry Pothead. Harry, please don't swear. You have to hide your comment. Ronnie Dodge, hey mate, that's okay. My hotel Wi-Fi in Blackpool isn't great. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is never great, I'm afraid. And I have to do so much with it. I'm surprised I am able to pull off this channel with my shitty equipment and my shitty Wi-Fi. But we do continue to carry on no matter what tries to stop us. Right, here's my pitch. Right, I'm talking to Zaslav and Discovery, right? And I tell them, Star Wars has the hero story. Harry Potter has the hero story. Two of the most successful stories of all time. So my DC live action universe's arc will be around Connor Kent and Connor Kent's hero story. So when we will start with Justice League. It will already have an established universe. All these heroes are already there. Watchtower is already there. The Hall of Justice is already there. It's all established. But basically, in the Justice League film, we introduce Connor Kent, the son of Superman and Lex Luthor, via being a clone. And every movie will feature, it doesn't matter whose movie it is, every movie will feature a little bit of the element of Connor Kent's hero story, his mission, his task. We're going to take the example of Lord of the Rings and Frodo. As I say, Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, Harry Potter. And I don't know what he would be doing and what his mission would be, but the whole arc of the DC live action universe, my DC live action universe, would be Connor Kent's hero's journey. And I think it would really work, as well as, displaying these brilliant characters in their own movies, and we launch it with Justice League. Why launch a Justice League as the first movie? It's about kind of launching the world. We see the world. We go to OR. OR's there. The Green Lantern Corps there. We've got 2 or 3 Green Lanterns, part of my Justice League. And the whole thing is basically about Connor Kent's hero's journey. Harry Pothead. But the good news is Black Adam and Avatar 2 trailer in the same week. Well, I don't know. Nothing's for certain. Probably Avatar 2, yeah, but nothing's for certain in terms of WB. Henrik, good to Mickey. Good evening to you, Henrik. And that is my pitch, Henrik. Your live stream out walking my kitten. YouTube live stream out walking my kitten. Good. I mean, it's the first time I've heard anyone walking a cat, but whatever floats your boat, yeah? I mean, for sure, there will be changes to the DCEU. I think they are definitely trying to salvage Black Adam and Shazam Fury of the Gods. I think they're trying to interconnect those 2 movies, which they should have done from the beginning. It's so dumb. Shazam and Black Adam are part of this universe, and there's nothing connected, really. And this is how dumb they are, of course. And obviously they're doing reshoots. And this shit that they're doing, reshoots for 1 week and 2 weeks. Nah, they're pickups. They're doing reshoots for a lot longer than that. And they're shooting the reshoots next to each other. That gives me a clue in what they're planning. Trilogy, all seemed good 8 years later. Nothing but confusion. Yep. Because this is what happens when people are creatively bankrupt, when they shouldn't be in their jobs. But they're in their jobs because of their DNA and because of their connections. This is what happens. All they had to do was let Snyder finish their arc. Even better, don't bring in Zack Snyder to lead the DC mainstream cinematic universe. That would have made more sense. They made the mistake of bringing him in, let him finish his arc, then move on. So they've got to make these decisions now. They've got to make these decisions. I mean, as I say, Amber Heard, from what I hear, isn't in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom a great deal. She can easily be scrubbed out and replaced. It's a lot more challenging with Ezra Miller. I believe the multiverse strategy is toast. I believe the Flash movie, as is at the moment, is toast. David Zaslav is very, very clear on one thing. Supergirl does not replace Superman. Superman is front and center. Malik Pride, Bruce Timm should run the new DC universe. Yeah, us the fans know what we're talking about. We would do that. But will these people make the common sense decision? Right? He's the best man for the job. I don't know how healthy he is, how fit he is, how old he is these days, but I think he certainly would do a great job. And what you've got to do is, it's not just about bringing Bruce Timm into a DC studios. You need to populate it with DC writers, DC authors, people who love DC, who understand DC, but are also good business people who can produce film and television. You've got to bring all these elements into a studio, whether it's a DC studio or on Netflix or anything. All these qualities have got to be a part of it. You can't just slap DC Studios on something, bring in Bruce Timm and say, yeah, we've made it. No, the work has to be done. But I agree with you, Malik Pride. I do. I think that would be brilliant. This is Movies TV Mad Live. I've got 7 viewers, 6 likes. I've got a poll. What will you see first? Avatar 2, 33%. Shazam, Fury of the Gods, 67%. John, if they do recast Miller, some Snyderverse fans won't be happy. Well, John, look, it's quite simple for me. The man's a criminal. The man's a problem. If he did it once, you can let it go. He did it twice, and then he's gone back to Hawaii. We saw him partying in videos and stuff. This, it's ridiculous. The studio themselves must understand that this is dead. And I'll repeat to you, Andy Muschietti, the Flash director, has still not said anything about the delays, about the Flash movie. All he's commented on, as I've already said, and I know it's boring, is his It prequel. That tells you they're moving him off that project because it's fucked, and they're giving him something because it's not Andy's fault. This situation isn't Andy's or Barbara's fault. I feel bad for them, but at the end of the day, my focus can't be on them. Trilogy, Andy's being kind of weird. Well, as I've just said, Trilogy, it's not his fault. He's in a mess of a situation. He came in. Clearly, him and Miller must have clashed a lot. It was problematic. That's why they've been silent. He's not being weird purposely. He's been gagged by the studio. That's what my people are telling me. Bat Super, a team of comic book writers, screenplay writers, and directors working harmoniously to make live-action DC. Exactly. It would work. I like my pitch. Heroes' journeys work. The kind of original phase of the MCU is Tony Stark's hero's journey from being a selfish billionaire selling weapons and not caring who they hurt to actually hurting and evolving and being pretty much the leader of the Avengers and, being the one who actually sacrifices himself to destroy Thanos. Because in the first movie, he would never have sacrificed himself for the world. But he evolved as a character, like Matt Reeves' The Batman did at the end of the Batman movie. Character evolution is important in storytelling. And the DCEU hasn't got no character evolution. You can argue that Superman goes on this journey and it's great. John, maybe Andy can move on to the It prequel. That's what's going to happen. That's why there wouldn't be that. That's why it's a sweetener. That's why he's been given it. Trill J, Bat Super, right, but at this point, it may not matter what they do. They lost when BVS came out. I mean, the thing is, Trill J, we can only venture our opinions. We're not in charge. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, Snyderverse stands believe it's in the bag. We just don't know. I do think, though, that the Snyderverse has got a better chance of returning than this current DCU iteration has of staying. Because Snyder at least had an identity, had a vision to what he was doing. Whether you like it or not, that doesn't matter. Children, I'm saying for us competing with Marvel. I don't care about competing with Marvel. I care about making a great DC franchise with great DC movies and streaming shows. I mean, if that's your lookout, that's fine. But I couldn't give a shit about Marvel. Reno Jack, do we really need an It prequel? No, we don't, but Andy Muschietti does as a sweetener to keep his mouth shut about what happened with Ezra Miller on The Flash. I don't need it. I don't care. Let them do what they want. Most of the shit they make today, I don't even watch. I don't consume. Why should I give an industry money that hates me, that hates my gender, that calls us toxic fandoms? They're customers. They're customers. Think about that for a minute. Oh, I'll consume the DCEU and stuff that I'm interested in, but I don't like the industry. I think they're a terrible bunch of people. And most of them are criminals as well. And they've got the cheek to lecture you and me. Think about that for a minute. So I don't need an It. I don't need an It prequel, definitely. But I don't care about it anyway. I'd prefer an HBO Max miniseries about Sometimes They Come Back, because that's one of my favourite Stephen King stories. And in fact, that movie wasn't successful, but I actually thought Tim Matheson was amazing in that film. And I'm sure you'd never heard of Sometimes They Come Back, but it's pretty cool. It's actually a really good story. Very haunting, though. Bad Super Trilogy, they haven't lost. They need to realise that they can't win by competing with Marvel. They should compete with themselves. That's how they win, by focusing on their own self-improvement. Yeah. Compete with Superman the movie. Compete with Batman 89. But don't compete at all. Just make quality. Service your consumer, for crying out loud. What comic book fan can sit there watching the DCEU and be satisfied? No comic book fan that buys comics every week can be happy with any of it. I love the Snyderverse and I love some films in it. But no comic book fan, and I'm not a big guy who buys comics, but I talk to comic book stands. They're not happy, and quite right too. Why should they be happy? Trill J, Bat Super, it's kind of done, bro. Well, for you, it's done, Trill J, and that's cool. We are an opinion-based platform, of course. John, which It movie do you prefer, the one with Tim Curry or the reboot? Listen, John, anything with Tim Curry is superior. I love Tim. He's a wonderful man. He's a wise man. He's a talented man. And I mean, like the cinephiles will laugh at me, but my favorite performance from him is Home Alone 2. The man is fucking hilarious. Without Tim Curry in that movie, oh my God, he's amazing. Bat Super Trill J couldn't be further from the truth. Remember, guys, I don't mind you disagreeing as long as you respect each other. I'm not saying anything wrong's happened, but just remember to be nice to each other. Reno Jack, Tim Curry's a legend, absolutely hilarious in Home Alone 2. The scene where he runs out on the dummy in the shower, I used to rewind and die laughing. Yeah, it is his acting. That's the thing. That's his acting. Ben Pottimer, can't wait for Rebel Moon. Zach's getting free range on one of his IP. Cast looking good so far. Yes, it looks great. Let's hope Netflix doesn't go bankrupt before we can see it. But I'm very excited, Ben, for Rebel Moon. I mean, really, the DCEU was screwed from the very first movie. And I love Man of Steel, and Superman's my boy, right? But they were screwed. They had Superman on cinema screens have his elbow around someone's neck and snap it. What child can go and watch that movie? I don't personally. I mean, it sucked the air out of the cinema. It was shocking. It was compelling. I don't mind it as a Suits fan. But when you're making Superman, you've got to be making Superman for families. I'm sorry. Superman is a family character. It's as simple as that. Everything that they did with Chris Evans' Captain America in the MCU, that's the direction they should have went in. His arc is fucking amazing. Feige got Captain America right. And they got him wrong. Trill J, no, MOS actually saved it. BVS tore everything down. Well, listen, Trill J, MOS is a good film, but you don't have Superman snapping someone's neck. Again, I'm not triggered by that, but you don't do it. So the die was cast from that bit. Yeah, BVS, you know, people hated it. The mainstream audience hated it. I understand what you're saying. But yeah, MOS was problematic as well. That's why it only made a little bit of money. It's all there. The die was cast. The die was cast. Superman is a character for families. You do it to another character, Trill J, yet you want it restored. Yes, because I like it. I like it. They made it because basically, Trill J, what I'm saying is it's not meant for a mainstream universe. But put it in a corner in HBO Max, it's cool. I love it. It's just not meant for a family audience. It should never have been in a mainstream universe. You've heard me say that. That's my opinion every day on these chats. So yes, I do want it restored, Your Honor. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what you want, what I want. They will make their own decisions. Trill J, oh yeah, on HBO Max, give me that for sure. Exactly. We're not suggesting it's going to be a mainstream. It should never have been part of the mainstream. Putting it that, having Superman snap someone's neck. The rating wasn't even correct for that kind of thing. Bat Super, I see some. What? Oops, I hit send. We have 6 viewers. We have 6 likes. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe. If you haven't already, if you're already subscribed, please make sure you're still subscribed. Ben Pottimeyer. That's true, Mick. I don't know why people dislike BVS that much. It totally changed my perspective on superheroes and storytelling. But I understand what you're saying with Suits. It needs to be lighter. Listen, I love Man of Steel. I love BVS. I love Zack Snyder's Justice League. They're just not meant for a central universe. That's the thing. It's great. I love his world building. I love what Snyder does. But you can't deliver that to a mainstream universe. I couldn't take my nieces and nephews to see Superman snap someone's neck. You can have a darker Superman somewhere else if you want, if you're going to embrace kind of an Elseworld scenario. But you can't take, as a kid, I sat with my dad and my brother and I watched Superman the movie and we watched it as a family because it was inoffensive. It was cool. It was satisfying. That's super. I see some people wanting Ridley Scott or Denis Villeneuve to direct DC movies, but I think they would lean even harder into the type of things that alienated people for Snyder's movies. Yeah, listen, you can't do it. It depends. They can do a Constantine movie. That's cool. They can do a Zatanna movie. That's cool. But we know Emerald Fennell's doing the Zatanna movie. But the point is, you've got to keep Superman bright. And you've got to keep him light. There's some characters you don't fuck with. And I think people have made it abundantly clear. And even Henry Cavill doesn't really like what they did to Superman in BVS. He's been absolutely clear on that. Reno Jack, Ridley Scott, Martian Manhunter or nothing. Yeah, I mean, look, Ridley Scott's a great director. I don't think Ridley would want to be involved in comic book fare anyway, so I don't think it's a problem. But, yeah, there are darker characters out there that you can deal with. You've got to leave Superman and Batman to the experts. Also on today's DCEU Daily, I mentioned about the Batman sequel. There's been no announcement. Could the future of the Batman franchise be on HBO Max? Let me know in the comments. Bat Super, Zach might like to deconstruct heroes and stuff like that, but unlike Ridley Scott and Villeneuve, but he's still a comic book nerd, so he doesn't go too nuts with it. Well, Snyder's vision was to deconstruct, to reconstruct. He literally deconstructed and reconstructed Batman in the same film. It was never to do it. It was to take them on a journey. That was his idea. But he's admitted. I've seen him in a documentary saying he loves deconstructive comics, DC Comics. So that's why he liked Watchmen. So if you give him the job, you can't be surprised when he does it. You know, when a scissors cuts something, you can't be, oh my God, why did you cut that? It's a scissors. It cuts things. That's the point. Trill J, the Batman may be done, to be honest. Woof! Well, that's a hot take, and I don't know what to say about that. I hope not. Listen, it made good money. Apparently, we're getting stuff on HBO Max. That might be the place for it. But it is interesting. For it to not have a sequel announced is interesting. And something else that was curious was the way they cancelled Gotham PD as well and swapped it out for Arkham, apparently. So, yes, I smell a lot of rats there, Trill J, for sure. But I don't want to stand here in front of 6 people and say it's done, because that's not where I think we're at right now. But let's see what happens. But this is typical of this studio, that they don't look after anything that's good. I think it's like what Zaslav said to them via that Variety article. You may have had a few wins in DC, but your branding is terrible. Children, Zaslav wants $1 billion. It didn't make that, so I might just have to enjoy what I got. Well, listen, that might be why my theory is correct, that the universe will continue on HBO Max. That's what they did with James Gunn's movie. And that movie made 4 times less than the Batman, but they're continuing his franchise over on HBO Max. Because no question, Reeves' take on Batman would make a lot of money for HBO Max. It was literally impossible for that film to make $1 billion with the length it was. And the lack of action. But I ain't got a problem with it. I love the film. I think it's a perfect film, perfect length. I ain't got a problem with it. But when you're trying 3 hours, and a 3-hour movie isn't going to make $1 billion. Although probably Titanic did, and that was 3 hours. But so honestly, I don't know where they are going now. No, nobody does really. No, but all I'm trying to do is put the puzzle together. Android 118 XX. Hi, Mick. Has my doppelganger come back yet? Right, guys, I want to give you a disclaimer. I will not be feeding the trolls any longer. If you talk about any trolling or any problematic accounts in the chat, I will ignore you. If you see something suspicious, report it, and that's it. I will not be responding to any negativity on this chat. If I see any negativity, I will just ignore it and move on. We are not going to feed the trolls. That's if you want me to continue to do these live videos. I am not going to be feeding any trolls any longer. I'm here to talk about movies. So, yeah, I don't want to talk about any trolling. I'm here for love. I'm here for love of DC and entertainment and television and film. And I'm not, don't feed them. That's what they want. And that's the mistake I've been making. So it's better, let's just focus. Whatever happens in the chat, if it's negative, we ignore it and move on. We don't reference it. We don't talk about it. We just report it and move on. Reno Jack, if they drop the ball with Green Lightning, more Reeves Batman, it will be a bigger failure in my eyes than the Snyder Cut, Snyder stuff. Henrik. Android 118 double X. True, the more we talk about them, the more you're feeding them. Ignoring them is best. Yeah. Listen, it's difficult because they do it. They say things on purpose to incite a reaction from you, of course. So I'm a Mediterranean. I'm a passionate, hot-blooded Mediterranean male. So it's not easy. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If he wants to create multiple accounts and think he's trolling me and getting one over on me or anyone like that, let them. Right? It doesn't matter. It's not my oxygen that's being wasted. I'm here already. Georgia, he made 700 million. It will never be a failure. Reeves got his vision. It's done. It's just done. Well, I don't think it's done. He made 750 million. I'm not necessarily. I don't agree with you. I don't think it's done. But I think the future may be on HBO Max. Made a lot of money. It was a success. There's no question about that. I'm sure no one on this channel is suggesting anything else. Scott Edwards, what's up? Good evening to you, Scott Edwards. Welcome. Welcome to our Arrowverse stand. If you checked out today's DCEU Daily, I read an article about The Flash. Ben Pottymeyer, I don't know, Reno. Zach introduced a lot of main DCEU characters. Android 118 double X. What are your thoughts on Ezra being arrested again? Do you think he's trying to send a message? I don't care what he's trying to send, but he's done. It's over for Ezra Miller because multiple people, hundreds and thousands of people around the world are going to boycott anything he's involved with. Him and Amber Heard are done. Reno Jack, let's remain stoic like all great heroes do. Agreed. Scott Edwards, I'm excited for Aquaman 2. So am I. Let's see what they do with it though, Scott. And of course, there's another issue. They never had any projects for next year, apart from Blue Beetle, before they moved things. And God knows what's going on with Batgirl. I mean, look, they're incompetent. They're absolutely... Reno Jack, Ben, I understand your perspective. I only say that because I'm a lot bigger fan of Reeves personally. Scott Edwards, I think Amber Heard is amazing as Mira. Well, she's not a bad Mira, my friend, but unfortunately the die is cast and people don't like abusers. Henrik, you are very strict today, Mick, and allowed with jokes. Oh, I'm not strict, my friend. I just want to talk about movies. You can joke if you want. I'll read your comments out. But when I'm in the zone and I want to talk about entertainment, because ultimately that's what I'm here for. So if I'm reading six posts about jokes, I could be missing something that someone passionately wants to talk about movies. Children, yeah, Amber is done. Yep, she's gone. They're just waiting until after all this. Whether she wins the libel case or not. Scott Edwards, I don't give a flying flip. Just give me my DC content, lol. Well, I'm afraid, Scott, you're in the minority there. Ben Pottymeyer, gotcha, Reno. Matt Reeves is a genius in his own right. He certainly is. Trill J, just give me that Justice League at this point with characters done right. I agree. Henrik, fair enough. You want Mrs. Henrik, fair enough. You want Mrs. Clark for the new female lead in Aquaman 2? I do, yes, and I think a lot of people do. That's super. Batgirl hasn't been officially pushed back from what I've seen. It will be weird because it's supposed to be after The Flash. It can't be pushed back because it never had an official announcement with a release date. Scott Edwards, why is Amber Heard done? Well, don't you read the news, Scott? Don't you read that she was manipulating Johnny Depp? She was abusive to Johnny Depp. They're in court right now. Android 118 XX. It makes me sad that people want to boycott Flash and Aquaman. It ain't the characters' fault. They are bigger than these people, so go ahead and watch these movies for the characters' sake, not actors. It's difficult because I'm afraid that's just not the world we live in today. Trilogy, Batgirl should have had a teaser trailer where they only just finished shooting it, to be fair. Henrik, someone send this live chat to Mr. Zaslav. Poor bloke coming to watch me talking. All right, Dave. Ben Pottimer, for some reason, I'm really excited for Blue Beetle, so am I, and hopefully Booster Gold. I really hope it's done well, so do I. Scott Edwards, what was the Flash article about? It was about the showrunner saying that everything from season 6 to season 8 is all linked, and it's nothing to do with blood work. But super, true, but I still say 2022 everywhere. They gave to push it to next year. Reno Jack Android, for me, that is tough because I'm considerate of what I give my money and attention to. So you should. Trilogy, Matt Reeves and Flash had a teaser while shooting. I'm telling you, Mick, something is up. Of course, yeah. They were advertising, right? They were advertising 2022 is the year for heroes. They were plugging 4 movies in front of the Batman movie. A week later, they cancelled Aquaman and the Last Kingdom and the Flash movie. And they still, after they delayed the movie, still had the fucking teaser in the cinema. They are incompetent. Scott Edwards, I think the Flash's final story arc this season will wrap everything up, yes. And hopefully that means showrunner Eric Wallace will be gone because he's beyond incompetent. Scott Edwards, next season will be a crossover-centric season. I want you to be aware, Scott, that COVID is taken very seriously in Hollywood. It is still an issue. So I wouldn't expect any huge crossovers. Reno Jack, that trailer's still playing in theatres to this day, though. Oh, my God! They're incompetent. Bat Super 2022 is your year for heroes, Marvel heroes. Trilogy, hopefully Flash CW is done after this season. No, it's got a season 9. It's been greenlit. Apparently, maybe a final season, but I'm not convinced. No, the CW doesn't need viewers. Did you know? Nobody needs to watch CW shows. Android 118 XX. I've been watching the full live trials of Amber and Johnny. There were plenty of times Amber acting and making facial expressions, trying to act like a victim. Also noticed a couple of smirks from her. Oh, yes, she's terrible. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't kick her out on a cold night. I love a bad girl. But, yeah, she's terrible. Trilogy, Bat Super. Actually, Marvel is taking an L this year, to be honest. Now, yeah, they're getting attacked left, right, and centre. And Disney's in so much trouble with this California thing. Scott Edwards, Eric Wallace did really well with Armageddon. Well, it was an improvement on his other work, but then it's gone downhill again. Henrik, WB makes good money of selling shows to Netflix. It does. That's part of the Arrowverse's success. You are right, Henrik. Reno Jack, if Zaslav fired Toby, he would be the real hero. Yeah, I mean, Emmerich is incompetent. And anyone who wants to keep that man at their company doesn't have my respect and doesn't have my trust. And why that man's still there, you know, maybe he's got the nuclear codes or something. I don't know how that man keeps on getting away with it. Scott Edwards, I think they will do some type of crossover thing next season. We will see, Scott, probably the same as Armageddon. Don't expect a big crossover. Android 118 XX. Zaslav deserves a statue if he turns it around and goes well for the... Yeah, listen, if he makes the decisions I think he's going to make, and I'm hearing he's going to make, I'll fucking build the statue. I'll rename this channel David Zaslav. But you know, it's sad. I was so excited. 4 movies in 1 year. It was going to be great. Scott Edwards, I'm cool with it all being on one show. Children, the DC films coming out this year are still better than the Marvel ones. Oh, I agree. Black Adam has got the fucking JSA. It's got Hawkman. It's got, what's his name? Dr. Fate. It's, of course. Those 2 films are lit. I'm sure they will be. Reno Jack wouldn't kick her out on a cold night. Lol, Mick. That's English. That's the way we speak. I wouldn't. Honestly, I would have a good time with Amber. I like a bad girl. I ain't bothered, mate. Henrik, how about they have a crossover where all the heroes get sent to the real world? Our world, Cavill masks or cartoons could be fun. Actually, I wrote some Smallville fan fiction where Clark came to the real world and I met him. And I'll tell you the story. So Lionel and Lex are testing a reality bomb. And by accident, the reality bomb, well, actually hits Clark on purpose. And he comes to the real world. But in my world, he's Tom Welling. He's not Clark Kent, right? But I explained to him that he's on a show called Smallville and all of that. And then when we find a way to get him back to Smallville, right? I beg him to take me with him. I'll tell him I've got nothing here. You're my whole life, because I was obsessed with Smallville at the time. And yeah, that was my little fan fiction. Scott Edwards, just bringing Superman and White Canary, Black Lightning and Supergirl. True, Jay. So honestly, we're only missing Flash. Not that bad, actually. No. If they delete Amber Heard and recast her, because she's not in the Aquaman sequel that much anyway. So it's not that big a deal for Aquaman to do that. And apparently Jason Momoa has followed Johnny Depp on Instagram. The plot thickens. So she's definitely done with the DCEU. Henry, cool story, man. Seems you really love Tom Welling and Smallville. I love Smallville. I love Superman. I love my fiction. I love my TV shows. I love my movies. Yep. Too right. The real world shit. But now the fictional world is shit because it's all about the real world now. So, Android 118 XX had anything nice today, Mick, before the stream? Yes, I had a burger and onion rings. Scott Edwards, Amber Heard will always be my mirror. She may be your mirror, but she ain't going to be anyone else's mirror soon. Sorry, mate. Trill J. Mick, that was some really good fan fiction. I could cry. Yeah, listen, I used to live in shared accommodation on my own. Smallville was all I had. And I was very emotional about that show. That's why I wrote such a personal story. So I begged Clark to take me back. He does. And I become friends with Lex Luthor. But then I have to start protecting Clark from Lex. But it's difficult for me because I'm friends with Lex and I'm friends with Clark. And because I wished I was in that Smallville universe, it's writing sometimes is about wish fulfillment. And that's why I did it. Henrik, hey, didn't get any review of my idea, Trill J. Scott Edwards, unforgivable. If Mira has a reduced role in sequel, she's the key part of Aquaman lore. Well, when they sack her and they put another actress in, she'll probably have more to do. I mean, it's not like DC haven't recast before. We had Holmes, who was kicked out after Batman Begins because she was shit in it, and she was replaced by a superior actress. Nobody cared, did they? So I actually think that the bad girl is a really good mirror. But at the end of the day, nobody wants her. Nobody wants her. Well, apart from you, Scott. Ben Pottimer, great story, Mick. I love the episode in Smallville when Lex gets shot and his mom shows him the life he could have. Such a great episode. Shows Lex true colours. Lexmas. Oh, yeah, I love it. And just like Ebenezer Scrooge. I just love it. And Rosenbaum, as usual, nails it. Android 118 XX. Can't wait for Amber's testimony. I just know Johnny's lawyers have a bunch of aces up the sleeve to show her. Can't wait for her nervous breakdown. I'm assuming next week she goes on the stand, but she will have her stuff to say. Don't forget about that. It's going to be interesting. Trill J, wow. Henrik, I love the episode when Lex gets super jealous of Tom because he steals his girl. You mean Lana? Rosenbaum was amazing. The best Lex Luthor. Amazing. There's always this debate, people saying, yeah, but he had all those years to do it. He was amazing from the Smallville pilot. Henrik, yes, Lana. Oh, Christine, I loved Christine. She was amazing. Bets Bat Super, Christine Crew. Yes, I love Christine. Trill J, I love to see a rated R crossover between Rob's Batman and the new Black Widow. That would be crazy. Have Doctor Strange find Batman to help her. Yeah. I'd rather not the MCU mixed with the DCU, you know, if that's at all possible. Not that I don't want your dreams and your fan fiction to come true. Right, look at my poll. What will you see first? Avatar 2, 24%. Shazam, Fury of the Gods, 76%. Henrik, Mickey, what happened to the geek love interest in Smallville? The one who went on to sell, she didn't sell kids. But that was Alison Mack who played Chloe, wasn't it? Scott Edwards, why do you not think they'll do a crossover? What, of Marvel and of what? Of Arrowverse? What are you talking about, Scott? Bat Super, I was mad in love with Lana. I don't blame Clark for being into her yet. And the only reason in the end he moved on from her because he had no choice. That episode when she's got the kryptonite, she's got Lexi's power suit, and they can't be together. That was the perfect ending for that story. Smallville actually was able to relate both of Clark's iconic love interests in 10 seasons. Amazing. Scott Edwards, Arrowverse crossover. If you were listening, Scott, what I actually said was I can only see them doing something like Armageddon again. I did explain to you, COVID is taken very seriously in Hollywood, and it's still a thing. And, you know, these sets can't cross over that much. It's difficult. Henry, Alison Mack, yeah, she's in prison for selling young girls. So kids, no, she is not. That's not why she's there. She was involved with a cult. And she convinced not kids, not young girls in their 20s, 30s. That's what they are. And she convinced them that it was a self-healing place to inspire women. And it wasn't. It was a place, it was a sex cult, right? Android 118 XX, looking hench Mick, thank you. Oh, I've been working out. Ben Pottimer gives me goosebumps thinking about it. Lex says to Bodyguard in Lexmas, do you know how to live happily ever after? Money, power, and more money. Finally turning into the true Lex. So chilling. Great episode, yeah. Henrik, AAH, kind of like the plot of Superman and Lois now. Well, almost. Thanks for answering, Big Papa. Hashling, me. Your prediction, Arsenal v Man United. I can only look, I'm a Man United fan. I just can't see us doing anything for the rest of the season. No United fan can. But we will see. Scott Edwards, will we see Tyler Superman and Melissa Supergirl together again? I hope so, Scott. I don't think it's one of the most important things to the people at Superman and Lois. I'll be honest with you, they're quite happy with a self-contained show. Crossovers could hurt it because they're doing so well. Superman and Lois doesn't need the rest of the Arrowverse. The rest of the Arrowverse needs Superman and Lois. Henry Manu is going to lose 10-0 to Arsenal, and then the new coach will resign. He won't, and he's not the new coach to the end of the season. Henry Manu, no, read that. Reno Jack watched the John Wayne Gacy Netflix documentary last night. Quite unsettling. Had to make sure my door was locked a few times. Yeah, because they're all nut jobs, all these Hollywood people, aren't they? Or is John Wayne Gacy not John Wayne, the cowboy? Trill J, what are you laughing at, Trill J? This is Movies TV Mad Live. I have 10 viewers, 8 likes. If you haven't liked the video, please like it. Android 118XX. What would you prefer, a Darkseid Omega Beam or Green Lantern's ring? Oh, a Green Lantern's ring. Ben Pottimer, lol. John Wayne Gacy serial killer. Ah, right. Okay. Henrik, Trill J, having a laugh. Governor haha. Trill J, the documentary man said he has to make sure his door was locked. John, what did you think of Zod in Smallville? Yeah, Callum Blue did a good job. I mean, the original idea was for Sam Witwer to not just play Davis Bloom, to play his father Zod in the following season. Personally, that was a better idea, but Sam didn't want to do it because he didn't think it was going to work. I think it would have worked. Henrik, who is John Wayne Gacy? They told you he's a serial killer. Ben Pottimeyer, Callum Blue was cool. Yes, he was. He was very, very good, by the way. Most of the DC characters that Smallville represented, they were done in such a good way. Maybe Aquaman was a little bit lame. But he's gone on to bigger and better things. His name's Callum Blue. Interesting name, obviously a stage name. British guy, very interesting guy. Back then, I used to listen to Smallville podcasts a lot. Reno Jack, John Wayne Gacy, not the cowboy. He was a serial killer. Police found 33 bodies buried under his house. All young boys. Horrible. Ben Pottimeyer, yeah, is low-key my Gather Zod. Android 118 XX. What do you prefer, the Aquaman's trident or Wonder Woman's lasso of truth? The trident. Ben Pottimeyer, Zod. Trill J, anyone ever heard of the X-Man? No. I've heard of the ex-wife. Right, I'm going to turn my phone back on and see if there's anything going on in the world of entertainment. Get voting on my poll, people. Henrik, you got a message from David Zaslav. Oh, yeah, David always messages me. Not. Trill J, I prefer Bruce Wayne's money so I could charm all the females, lol. Yeah. Why bother charming them? Just go to a brothel if you got the money. Ben Pottimeyer, it's less the work, innit? In other news, Ezra arrested again. Ha ha ha. That was earlier this week, though, wasn't it? He hasn't been arrested again, has he? But he will be arrested again. The problem is I'm worried about he may do someone real serious damage. I mean, ultimately, WB probably still would keep him in the film, even if he bloody, I mean, it's ridiculous. Trill J, also, so I can buy dumb things and act ignorant. Exactly. What's wrong with that? Android 118 WX. Trill J, Bruce doesn't need money to charm the females. I'm Batman. That's all he says. And their pants is already down by their ankles by the time he's finished that sentence. Right, let's just make sure we're not missing out on any news. No thanks, I'm not interested in the Coda Star. You propaganda merchants. Reno Jack, Trill J, birds like bread. It's the way of the world. Trill J, rank Jack exactly. John, have you seen Titans season 3? If so, what did you think of the Barbara Gordon actress? I didn't see it, but I did see her in trailers. She seemed okay, yeah. These are the kind of characters we should have in the DCEU. Henrik, pop the beer for you, Mickey. Thank you very much. Android 118 XX, what is your favourite regeneration scene in Doctor Who? Mine is David Tennant. The moment he said, I don't want to go, I felt daggers to my heart. It's a brilliant regeneration. I prefer Matt Smith's final monologue. I like what he says. We always become different people. Whatever he says, it's just amazing. It's emotional. And it always breaks my heart. But yeah, Tennant's one is amazing. I think Matt Smith's one is one of my favourites, but there's so many good ones. I love Eccleston's. And then you're talking about classic Who. That's an interesting one as well. I like Peter Davison's one. There's some really cool regeneration scenes. Henrik, Mick, I want to try and watch Doctor Who. Where do I start? Well, you have two options. You watch An Unearthly Child, which was the first ever Doctor Who in 1963, or you actually just watch the first episode of the revival back in 2005, which is called Rose. My advice, watch Rose. J. John, season 3 was good, but they was doing too much towards the end. The Barbara actor was good. Also, the lady with the sword, but Crane got weird at the end a bit too much. Henrik, Reno Jack, nah, they're Mick gonna kick me out. John Hurt was great as the War Doctor. Oh, it was amazing. One of the best Doctor Who reveals of all time, all season. We were all criticising season 7 for not being on it. Where's, what they're doing for the 50th anniversary. And the final episode had that sucker punch, and it was amazing. And getting John Hurt in, and he's done Big Finish as well. Sensational. Reno Jack, Henrik, nah. Mick will have a shot of tequila as well. If I had tequila, I'd drink some with you. Yeah, definitely. Tequila! Children, I think Titans is trying to ground the Titans like Nolan, but they need a bigger budget, in my opinion. And also, Nightwing is getting better. Android 118 XX, Matt Smith's regeneration to Peter Capaldi's was unique. There wasn't the traditional explosions like the previous. I'm not sure I like the way Matt just turned into Capaldi. Maybe that was not my favourite thing, but the emotions prior to that were amazing. Henrik, ha ha ha, Reno Jack, salute my filler. Children, anyone in here watch Marlon Wayans' Haunted House? No. Ooh-ah, Eric Cantona. Ooh-ah, Eric Cantona. Reno Jack, Trill J, no, but I love Scary Movie 1 and 2. Henrik, Trill J, beer or soda today, baby? Henrik, I personally find this stream, beers is a good combination. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Trill J, Android, sleep paralysis isn't a joke. Android 118 XX, have you ever had any paranormal experiences, Mick? Yes, I had a threesome with 2 ghosts. Getting it in, of course, wasn't a problem. Get it? It went right through them. Bam, bam! Troje, Henrik, I don't know. I drink whatever I'm around sometimes. I'm not much of a drinker or a smoker. I'm only 20 anyway. Oh, bless. Only 20. 49. Android 118 XX low. How did that go for you? I was amazing. It was a haunting experience. No, I've not actually ever had any paranormal things. Although I wouldn't mind Vivian Leigh coming back from the dead and giving me a good scene too. One of the greatest actresses of all time, and oh boy, was Vivian beautiful. Android 118 XX, laughing emoji. Android 118 XX, you're crazy. I know, you just worked that out. That's why the bots and the trolls can't handle me, because I'm crazy. I don't give a shit. You see, these bots bank on the fact that you care about your reputation, that you give a shit. But when you don't, it's difficult for them. That's why Voldemort keeps on coming back for his final revenge, and it's not working. Reno Jack, if you're a ghost, you can just walk around nude at all times. Isn't it great? You don't have to buy clothes. The thing is, you can't smoke or drink. I love smoking and drinking. That's why my voice is always shit. Hello, this is Movies TV Mad. John, did you ever watch The Five-ish Doctors with Peter Davison? Yeah, it was amazing. I can't believe the modern iteration hasn't done a Five Doctors yet. They've had Eccleston, they've had Tennant, they've had Smith, they've had Capaldi, they've had Whittaker. They could literally do the Five Doctors for the 60th anniversary. Maybe that's what RTD is planning. Reno Jack, do you ever enjoy some honey? Oh, right. No comment. Harris Selick. Hey, Mick, good evening, Harris. How are you doing? Android 118 XX, Coca-Cola or Pepsi? So can you guys actually report an account? Henrik, blink if you like candy. Harris Selick, yeah. So what I was saying before you came in, Harris, right? We're not going to feed the trolls. We're not going to respond to any trolls, especially Voldemort, right? So I won't react to anything negative. If he thinks he's getting one over on me by disguising himself as other accounts as you lot, I will respond if you ask me a question about entertainment, but I won't play his game. So if you see any activity going on there, do not respond to it in the chat. Please just report the account for me, because it's very difficult for me to stop while I'm live. If you can all do that for me and not respond in the chat, then we can just ignore them, report them, and move on. Otherwise, I can't do the lives, if it's just going to be negative on here. Henrik, yeah, we got to search the account up. Right. Reno Jack, come back to LA where it's legal, my friend. They smoke on every corner. Android 118 XX. McDonald's or KFC? Oh, McDonald's. I like the milkshake. The milkshake and the apple pie. Mwah. But I like a Big Mac, but it always bloats me out and makes me feel sick. A few years ago, you see, I had erupted ulcers and I nearly died. My stomach's always been problematic. I've actually still got an operation scar down my stomach, so. Henrik, Jane Fonda or Michael Keaton as a mentor? Oh, Michael Keaton. Trill J, McDonald's Dart. John, I love the Doctor Who episodes with the Weeping Angels. Yeah, they're good. I like the Weeping Angels, but they overused them, my friend. After Blink, they should have left them alone. Because ultimately, they're just fucking statues, aren't they? If you overuse that concept, as genius as that concept is, it ceases to be for it to work. That's just my opinion. Android 118 XX. What is your least favorite place? Piece of McNuggets and a run a marathon right after. I'll take down a Big Mac and a 20-piece nuggets and run a marathon right after. Wow, that sounds uncomfortable, my friend. Android 118 XX. I didn't say that. It was Rito Lol. All right, okay. Android 118 XX. What is your favourite Harry Potter film? And apart from Harry, who is your favourite character? Well, I think they're all brilliant films. I think it's a much better franchise in the MCU, and I think Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2 is superior to Infinity War and Endgame. And my favourite character away from Harry would probably be Snape. Henrik, you ever played World of Warcraft, Mickey? I think you could be in a good warlock. Nope, I don't. I'm not really a gamer. I don't have the patience unless it's FIFA. I'm not very good at that either. I always play on the amateur level so I can thrash everyone as United. Excuse me. Right, we have 9 viewers, 9 likes. Smash that like button just for me if you haven't done it already. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. What will you see first? That's my poll. Avatar 2, 20%. Shazam, Fury of the Gods, 80%. Wow. Some DC loyalty in the house. Android 118 XX. You most likely thrashed Liverpool on FIFA, haven't you? Well, I'm on amateur level, so I thrash everyone, and I love it. It reminds me of the good old days, the Sir Alex days. I love it. I've been watching so much old United content this week because I subscribe to MUTV. It's just great to remember the good times and the stories that made this club what it is, and I'm just getting obsessed with Cantona again. I don't want to compare his stats with anyone else, but for me, he's the greatest. He's a hero. He's a flawed genius. He admits he's a flawed person, and that's why I respect him. People will be singing his name for the next 100 years. Who's going to be singing this Man United's team's names in 100 years? Fuck all. Well, apart from Ronaldo. Reno Jack, I voted Avatar because I can't deny the legend James Cameron. It's up to you. If you're going to go and see it first, that's what you should have voted for. I mean, to be honest with you, if it was like a Star Wars movie and they were doing something amazing in it, then it would give me a problem. Because it's Disney Star Wars now, it's not much of a problem. I always back DC over anything. There's no franchise, there's no movies at the moment. I'm going to say, oh, I'm going to watch that over DC. There's nothing out there. There's nothing out there. Maybe in phase 1 or 2 of the MCU, when it was good, there may be a problem. But now there's not a problem for me because it's all crap. Android, hang on. Georgie, how is the US doing in soccer? No idea. Android 180 XX. Did you watch Eric Cantona's unique speech when he was at the UEFA Awards? I think it was. No. What did he say, Android 118 XX? He came back a few years ago for a charity game at Old Trafford, and he took the microphone and he apologised to the United fans for leaving. That's what kind of a man he is. He's a fucking superhero. He's a poet. He's an actor. The man is a sensation, legend. That is a real legend. That's a real icon. He doesn't pretend to be the perfect person. He doesn't pretend he hasn't sinned before. He's amazing. He's my favourite Manchester United. No, he's my favourite footballer of all time. John, I can't remember what the episode is called, but my favourite Doctor Who episode is the one with the Daleks fight the Cybermen. Yes, that's it. That's the finale. That's Doomsday, the finale of Doctor Who season 2. Yeah. Ben Pottimer, I thought it was funny that the show Krypton had David Goyer attached, and he said he got a lot of influence from MOS because he wrote it, but they race swapped the actors. They shouldn't have made it tie into MOS. Yeah, well, don't forget, they actually wanted to, instead of the main guy who was playing Superman's granddad, they wanted a person of colour to play him, and Jeff Johns told them no. And Ray Fisher tried to expose that, but Jeff Johns was actually right. Reno Jack, lol, US soccer is a joke, but Euro legends can come over for a nice payday. Yeah, I think we can say that football isn't America's strong point. Android 118 XX, can't explain it was awkward. Speech, everything became awkward. You even get to see Messi and Ronaldo awkward reaction. You'll find it on YouTube. It was quite powerful. Well, I'm sure whatever Cantona said, it was beautiful, and I don't care if it was awkward. I don't care. Cantona is the greatest footballer of all time. Not because his stats measure up to Messi and Ronaldo or anything like that, because what he meant to my club and his loyalty to my club. He didn't quit Manchester United. He quit football. He was just an amazing player. So I don't care what he does and says. He's never pretended to be the perfect human being. Trilogy, our women's just won a championship, though, a year or two ago. Well, that's good. Women's football is pretty strong, you know. Not that that's something we should be surprised about. Right now, I support the Man United women's team over the men's team. At least they care. And it's because they're not getting the money that the men's team has. So they're there for the game, not for the rewards. Ooh-ah, Eric Cantona. Ooh-ah. Android $180. Cantona kind of predicted the future of football from that speech. That was a few years back. Yeah, he's a clever guy. He's intelligent. He's clever. That's why he got out of the game when he did. He got out of the game at the right time. I don't think football now is as good as it was at the beginning when the Premier League first started. I think the high press has really destroyed the game. It's made it more negative, less attacking. I remember Kevin Keegan's Newcastle, attack. It was beautiful. Liverpool, Newcastle 4-3. It was beautiful. Reno Jack Low, is that Cantona chat to the tune of Go West by the Pet Shop Boys? Kind of. Henrik, have you seen Grace's video on Ezra Miller, Mickey? No, what did the dumb broad say this time? Don't tell me she's pretending she knows all about it as she usually does and it gets it wrong. Ben Pottimer, doesn't men get paid more because it's more popular and makes more money than women? Yes, but what I'm saying to you is because they don't get the rewards and the money, they're there for the game, not for the rewards. Do you get me? John, I wish we didn't have to wait until May the 18th to hear anything from WB. Trill J, that's not very nice, Mick. I'm not a very nice person. Who told you I was a nice person? Henrik, watching now, will report back in 5 minutes. Yeah, she posted it yesterday. I didn't bother watching it because I know it's going to be shit and it's just going to wind me up. Ben Pottimer, gotcha, Mick. The Man United players right now are a classic example of what this money in the game has done. It's made them too powerful. It's made them think they don't have to try, right? This is what this has done. They are the first example, and now the fans can see it. And social media exposes everyone. Andrew had 118 tablets. John, I thought it was April 18th, and I was like, why haven't anything happened yet from WB? Yeah, well, obviously, if they say a date, it would have been on that date. Although, the way they release their movies, they don't release them. You can't exactly trust them, can you? If WB was a woman, and they would probably not give birth on the date they're supposed to. They are the most useless company. They are a joke. They are an embarrassment. What did Nerdrodic say? WB are dumb and Disney are evil. And I think that's pretty much the way it is, actually. Reno Jack, mildly hyped to go see The Northman tonight. Oh, yeah, what a film. Classic revenge movie. We don't get them anymore. Leading man, revenge, bloody, action-packed. We're actually getting someone who's saying, fuck off, woke Hollywood, I'm doing it, and that's great. John, would you like to see a Mario Kart animated movie? I'd like to see a Mario Kart live action movie. I did pitch that as well. Android 118 XX. It's shocking from WB. I mean, they are a huge company. How could this have happened? Well, I tell you how it can happen, my friend. It's because they're useless. They're useless. But the stuff with the delays, it comes from. But I think we're lucky the Ezra Miller stuff happened. They were literally going to have Supergirl replace Superman. How was that even going to work? Reno Jack, another of my favourite revenge tales, Conan the Barbarian with Arnie. Ben Pottymeyer, imagine Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, and Hugh Jackman, Wolverine announced the movie together. Oh yeah, that would make money. I just don't think Jackman wants to do it. I mean, we may see him in Doctor Strange. I doubt it though, but who knows? And I think we may even see Deadpool in that movie. But I mean, it is only 2 hours, so. But you're right. They're probably trying it. Feger's no intention of casting his own X-Men. That's for sure. Because that's too much like hard work, isn't it? Trill J, he's embarrassing Snyder. He's embarrassing Snyder. Yep. Snyder picked him. Snyder cast him. That was the one mistake in the casting that Snyder did. He ain't the Flash. He ain't Barry Allen. I don't know why he cast him. I suppose he knows his parents or something. All he had to do was to fucking behave himself until that movie was released. But he went nuts. He went nuts. He couldn't handle filming 2 movies back to back and being like the signpost of the new DCEU. Too much pressure. Couldn't handle it. They should have known he wouldn't have been able to handle it. Android 180 XX. Do you like G.I. Joe movies? I prefer the first one the most. I've never seen a G.I. Joe movie. Ezra Miller has embarrassed everyone. And more so himself. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I just think he's a brat. I just think he's a spoiled brat. Like they all are. Like that Rachel Zegler. She keeps on coming out with her woke statements. I'm famous now. I've been in a Spielberg film. I'm going to be in Shazam too. Look, love, shut your mouth. We don't care. John, maybe we will see Hugh Jackman in Deadpool 3. Maybe, probably not as Wolverine though. Even that teaser of the Flash, you could tell at Fandom, you could tell they were hiding so much of the film. And at first I was thinking, well, that makes sense. And I'm thinking, are they hiding it because there's been problems? Triple J, Ezra was actually cool at first. Well, that's how he come across, didn't he? Listen, I don't care what people do outside of the industry. They can do what they want. They can collect shells. I don't care, right? But what if, it's no good. Because clearly there was a problem on the production as well. That's clear. They didn't deny that, Warner Brothers. They denied they had a meeting, but they never said no. It was exaggerated. Clearly, what do you mean it was exaggerated? You're not even calling the artist. You're not even calling Rolling Stone a liar. You're saying it was exaggerated. What does that even mean? Android 118 XX. I'm sure Ezra really wants the Snyderverse to be restored. So why do this? Why risk all that? There must be a lot going on behind the scenes. Well, I'm not here to justify his behavior. I'm here to enjoy my DC stuff and talk about my DC stuff and other entertainment. And I'm not here to make excuses for millionaires. Ben Pottimeyer, Reno Jack, they can collect shells. Ben Pottimeyer, I really thought Faye would recast X-Men, but I love all the X-Men characters and franchise, so I hope some of them come back. McAvoy, Fassbender, Stewart, McKellen, epic cast, yeah, and you can't replace them. That's the problem. You're not getting better than Hugh Jackman or Sir Patrick Stewart or Michael Fassbender or any of these, Sir Ian McKellen. You ain't gonna do that. There's no one in the industry that good, as far as I'm concerned. Trill J, DC needs to pay more for these roles as well. I have no idea what they pay people, Trill J, so I can't venture an opinion on that. All I care about is them sorting their shit out and sorting this out and giving us a franchise and movies we can be proud of consistently. As Zaslav and Discovery said, you've had a few hits, but you're branding shit. And that's the point. It isn't a consistent franchise. It doesn't work. Nobody knows what's going on. It makes no sense. It's a joke. Android 118 XX. If the reboot X-Men was successful, was it planned for them to appear in the Infinity War movie and beyond? Nope. I don't even know how that would have been possible. They didn't even belong to Disney then. Ben Pottimeyer, James McAvoy is so good in Split, playing the many characters in one movie. He's amazing. He's such a good actor. A proper theatrically trained actor. John, did you enjoy X-Men The Last Stand? It's not as bad as people say it is. I think the stuff between Jean and Wolverine, Logan, I think is powerful. Powerful, by the way. I think that stuff was quite good and much better than what they did with Sophie Turner. I mean, in the reboot thing. Shit. But yeah, I don't think Last Stand is a bad movie. It would have been better if Bryan Singer done it back then because he was on a roll with X-Men, but it wasn't a bad movie. Trill J, Marvel messed up not including the X-Men though. Ben Pottimeyer, I don't care. I really like Last Stand. Yeah, so do I. There's actually nothing wrong with the film. When they kill off Professor X, it's compelling, it's upsetting, it's a good film. But as I said, it's because Singer moved to Superman Returns, and then they had to use the other guy, Brett Ratner. Brett Ratner was going to do the Superman movie, and Singer was going to do X-Men Last Stands. Singer was desperate to do Superman, so he swapped places with Ratner. But I like Last Stand, yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't know why people hate it. Once the internet gets an idea in its head, that's it. And they'll give you plenty of reasons why they hate it. Just like why they hate Spider-Man 3. Andrew at 118 XX. James Mack really deserves that Oscar. His performance from Split was so good. I barely gained anything from that performance, which is a shame. He's an underrated actor. Oh, yes. He's a very good actor. He's a character actor. Those don't get, to be recognised as a character actor, it's on the television. That's what Rosenbaum's a character actor. The people on Smallville were character actors. They were recognised because they were doing a good job every week. He's probably, I think McAvoy would do a great job on streaming and will get more recognition. It's like, what's his name? Oh, I forgot his fucking name now. It'll come to me in a minute. Reno Jack, who is a film actor that you think doesn't get enough credit for his work? Oh my God. Well, definitely Daniel Radcliffe. His career choices would have been amazing since Potter. Ben Pottimeyer, Facebender. It's not who I'm thinking of. The guy who played Joker in the Suicide Squad. Why can't I not remember his name? We have 8 people in the chat, 9 likes. Get me to 10 at least. 20 votes on my poll. Who will you see first? Avatar 2. What will you see first? Avatar 2. 20% Shazam. Fury of the Gods, 80%. Trilogy, Jared Leto. Yeah, it was like Jared Leto. Before he started doing big movies, he was doing really well with films like Mr. Nobody, which was a sensational movie. But it proves that he's more of a character actor and he shouldn't be playing characters like Joker or Morbius. He's better off in streaming movies, in smaller movies. Because that, I think, is his strength. He's a character actor. The problem with him is he's a method actor and people really don't like working with those types because it's so difficult. Ben Pottimeyer, Jared Leto is a beast. I love the character in Dallas Buyers Club. Won the Oscar. Trilogy, Henrik. So what happened with Grace? Yeah, I think Henrik's gone to sleep. Maybe he's watching the old video. Henrik's becoming my consultant, my Grace Randolph consultant. Batman the Night, I'm with your wife. This is Movies TV Man Live, everyone. Have your say. Talk about entertainment. Talk about DC live action. Speak about TV. Speak about movies. Hallelujah. Trilogy. Jared Leto is a really good actor. I think he needs to leave these hero roles alone, and though they keep failing this legend. Batman the Night. Can't wait for Aquaman 2. Henrik, Trilogy, watching it. He has mental problems. He needs rehab. Hope the guy gets help. I couldn't give 2 hoots about him. He's got to be removed. People are going to boycott the film. It's done. 80s rewind at times 90s. Hey, Mick. How's your day, brother? How's it going? 80s rewind at times 90s. Yes, I'm doing well. And I hope you're all doing well as well. Trilogy, I don't care what anyone says. Jared Leto embodied Joker literally, was in a music video supporting the film. Jared is too good a person. Yep. And now you can't be a good person in Hollywood. They'll destroy you. The problem is with them as well, they're so overtly political. They're obsessed. I've never seen an industry so obsessed with politics. 80s Rewind at times 90s. I just watched about 40 minutes of behind-the-scenes filming of Black Adam. This movie looks sick. Have you seen 40 minutes of behind-the-scenes filming of Black Adam? That's not possible. How? Trill J, that's my point. He was too good for his own well-being. Yep. Well, you can't be in Hollywood. Nice people shouldn't be in Hollywood. That's why most of them are not nice people. Ben Pottimer, Tom Hardy is great, too excited for Nolan's next film after the third. Watch, I understand his film, ha ha ha, but that's okay. I like it that way. Android, 118 WS, what are your thoughts on Margot Robbie being the main character for the next Pirates of the Caribbean movie? I think she's playing a female Captain Sparrow. This was announced a long time ago. We haven't heard anything of it since. I'm assuming it's not going to happen. I think it's a shit idea. It's bad enough she's playing a feminist Barbie. The thing is with this feminist Barbie and this propaganda she's going to try and do in this film, nobody plays with Barbie anymore. Nobody gives a shit about Barbie anymore. The whole thing is pointless, but this is how dumb they are. Reno Jack, I don't know about Jared as a good person. He allegedly said use condoms, that's a lie, and dead rats, that's a lie, to his Suicide Squad classmates, that's a lie, and claimed it as a method acting. No, that's a lie. If that's not really true, I apologize. It's not really true. It doesn't mean he's evil, even if he did that, though, does it? Doesn't mean he's not a nice person. Android, 180 WX Trill J, but not as Captain Sparrow. Trill J, Margot is such a good actor. I just want to see her be badass. Well, she doesn't want to. She wants to push her feminist propaganda, I'm afraid. So there's plenty of good actors out there. So I'm done with Margot Robbie. She's a propaganda merchant, not interested in her. Children, Android. Well, Johnny isn't there anymore. So what do you expect? What do I expect? Leave it alone. No one's going to go and see it. It isn't going to make money, and they're not going to do it anyway. Ben Pottimer, Buzz Lightyear origin movie. I don't get it. Thought he was a toy in a store. He's a toy, but in the Toy Story universe, it's a toy based on a fictional astronaut, I think, something like that. I'm lost and I don't even care. Reno Jack, thank you for clearing it up, sir. It's not something I researched before a surface level. 80s Rewind at times 90s. Rob posted some stuff about it on his Instagram. He was talking about how this film has the most visual effects he has ever done in the movie. He's so proud of this movie. It's a special movie to him. Yeah, well, they're using the so much effects thing to pretend that's why the movie was delayed. They're lying. Henrik Trilje, she does not believe Ezra will continue after this movie. Oh, dear. So it's smelling like a recast. Film tested really good. But I'm thinking they are going to recast and refilm the movie. Listen, that film is not going to make any money. So she can be going on about after this movie. I don't think that movie as it is right now. Zaslav has made it clear. Supergirl doesn't replace Superman. So as it is, that film can't work. The film is in trouble. Troje, Henrik, Grant Gustin do it. They already met in a scene to switch his identity. What a shame. Ezra came to the Flash show. He really got on with Grant. It looked good. He didn't get paid for it. He did it. He enjoyed himself. And I was so excited for him when he did that. And what a shame. Henrik, Trilje, actually, that could be good. An easy fix. But I want a new Flash, a blonde one. I don't think these people are ever going to give you a blonde one. 80s Rewind at times 90s. I heard Grant is in the Flash movie itself. Yes, he does cameo in the movie. Yes, he was always going to cameo. I don't think we're ever seeing this movie. The problem is it's not going to make any money. Andrew at $180, I really don't see how the Flash movie being cancelled, it costed a lot of money. They're most likely to delay even further. Well, here's the thing. Delaying it is like cancelling it, my friend. You say it's going to lose money, right, if they don't release it. It's already going to lose money when they do release it because of what's going on. Trill J, Henrik, yeah, you have Grant dye his hair blonde. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. That solves a problem. Isaac makes edits. Welcome to Movies TV Mad. Henrik, I think we're going to see this movie, but they are going to fix it. I want to be Mickey. You seem so negative about the film. Talk, you love DC. Yes, I do love DC, but I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to sit here and say nice things when there's nothing nice to say. I was excited for this movie. They've cancelled it. It's in trouble. The man is repeatedly going to Hawaii and hurting people, upsetting people, getting arrested. So how can they release that movie, Henry? It's not going to happen. So maybe they do some research. I don't know. But people, you know, hundreds of millions, thousands of people have already said, because they've done polls on it, that they're going to boycott that movie because of him. They're going to boycott Aquaman and Lost Kingdom because of her, Amber Heard. So you can't just release it. It's not going to make any money. I love DC, but I'm not just going to shut my mouth and not speak my truth. Henrik, Trill J, haha, yeah, and he is the reverse Flash, and they bring on Wally West instead. Isaac makes edits. Any signs of one we don't speak of today, Mick? Trill J, Henrik, Supergirl replacing Superman. He's going to react like that, bro. Henrik, you don't know. They have cancelled it. They're going to fix it, Mick. That's my hope. Well, Henrik, I know a lot of things, my friend. I know a lot of things. So how can they fix it, Henrik? The only way they can fix it is to get rid of him and not replace Supergirl with Superman, which Zaslav doesn't want. Let's be clear. The new ownership said, I want Superman. You ain't replacing Superman. I want Henry Cavill as Superman. That's what the new leadership has said. But that film doesn't do that. That film has stock footage of Henry Cavill in Man of Steel. So clearly it needs a lot of fixing. So that will take a very long time. One way or another, we're not seeing that film ever. It will be another film. Or they're going to just bin it. Ben Potterman, Henrik, Faith, Alfred, Faith, get it. Red Panda. So what will happen without the Flash? This movie was supposed to change the DCU and make everything canon. Now what? It means the multiverse strategy is dead in the water. Children, you can't fix a movie with just reshoots. You have to stop it. Well, they'd have to start. Well, they could cut him out. They could abolish the plan to replace Superman with Supergirl. But listen, my friend, it's the movie's done. The multiverse strategy they were using is done. That's why they're reshooting Black Adam and Shazam, so they can move away from the multiverse strategy idea. Henrik, I don't believe you, Mick, but I do agree. I want Superman. It's going to come out, buddy. Calm down. I think we're speaking the same language here. Well, you just said you don't believe me. So, just like you didn't believe me when The Flash was first delayed, and you're all saying it was VFX like that, you're talking about wish fulfillment. You're saying you don't agree with me because you can't believe this film isn't going to happen. That film's not going to make any money. It's dead. It's fucked. The DCEU as it is right now is fucked. They're in trouble. And this new leadership is going to have to do something about it. Isaac makes edits. So what is the solution? Well, I gave a solution. They go back. They connect Shazam 2 and Black Adam, right? They recast Amber Heard. And now as for the Flash, it's fucked. The Flash is fucked. Simple as that. Henrik, Ben Pottermeyer, keep faith. Andrew at 118 XX. I desperately want a new DC movie now. Tired of having to wait for these movies. They're so slow. Yeah, well, we would have got one in the summer with Black Adam, but they delayed it. But don't worry, you've got Super Pets in the summer. Red Panda, now that The Flash is almost cancelled, maybe building a universe around Robert Pattinson as the Batman. Well, that's another issue. A sequel hasn't even been greenlit for that. Ben Pottermeyer, yup. No, Henrik, I'm not. In fact, you're talking SHIT about DC movies. It's you who doesn't know what they're talking about. You're deluding yourself. And don't swear on my chat. You're talking nonsense. You're deluded because you want the film to come out. It's dead. It's finished. It doesn't work. It's not going to make any money, Henrik. Stop drinking beer. It's clouding your thought process. At Rewind the Times 90s, any chances the reshoots could be at Cavill Superman? He's represented by the Rux Company. Well, he's doing The Witcher right now, isn't he? So who knows? Who knows what they've done or what they haven't done? Ben Potterman, all wouldn't have been done and epic if they left Zack alone in the first place. Yes, because his movies would have been done by now anyway, and they could have moved on without him. Henrik, I know more than you, Mickey. No, you don't just really want to see the Flash movie with a new Flash recast, all insane, buddy. You don't know more than me at all. Trill J, Red Panda, God please, no, we don't want a DCU and Rob's universe, thank you, and it's not going to happen anyway. Rob hasn't even had a sequel greenlit yet, let alone it being in any part of anyone's universe, but apparently he did cameo in the Flash movie. What a mess. What a mess. Rewind the Times 90s, I'm trying to stay hopeful. It's so depressing to see the state of the DCEU. Yes, it is. Reno Joe, have you ever seen Purple Rain? And do you like Prince? I like Prince, but I've never seen Purple Rain. Oh, Purple Rain. Henrik, and I agree with you that the Shazam movie needs to be connected. Why didn't they think of this before now, Mick? Seems as fans know more than the WB Bulls. Yes, they're useless. They're useless. They have got themselves into a corner, and they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. People don't know what's canon. The Snyderverse, Justice League, what's the DCEU? It's a mess. This is not a franchise you create for comic book fans. It's a mess. What diehard comic book fan is going to embrace this? Ages Rewind at Times 90s. Purple Rain is great movie. Trill J. Henrik, yeah, but time first have to give it time to build. Oh, it wasn't for me, the fist bump. I'll give you one anyway. 80s Rewind at Times 90s. I watched a bit of Court Case on Court TV. Wow, Amber Heard. But Case. Henry, they should just hire a mega fan like you or me. Listen to people like, at least I have my DC animated movies and comics. They don't listen to the consumer. They hate the consumer. They will never listen to us. For God's sake, Red Panda says, another year when I am going to rewatch the Dark Knight trilogy and Man of Steel effing super pets. Yeah, I know. They're a terrible company. Android 118 XX. That's why DC needs to have their own DC studios. Otherwise, all this wouldn't have happened. Well, it's not just about having DC studios. You need the right people doing the job. Isaac makes edits, so if Discovery whatever that means. Trill J, 80s Amber Heard needs to be in jail. Reno Jack, fist bump to you, Mick the Don. Isaac makes edits, so if Discovery were to remove Snyder verse, wouldn't the cast go as well? So if Discovery were to remove Snyder verse, wouldn't the cast go as well? Well, not necessarily. They're contracted to the company. Philip Stevens, 45. Amber Heard and Ezra both need to be replaced in their roles. I couldn't agree more. Philip Stevens, 45. Henry, yeah, you are right. Hope that changes now. If they want to make money, mate, amazing. DC film used the story. It's so frustrating. And I calmed down with the swearing, Mick. Good? I love that sentence. You are right, Mick. I love hearing that. Trill J, Isaac, I just want them all gone. Goodbye, new universe, please. Trill J's right. Trill J's right. Red Panda, Margot Robbie and Amber Heard disappointed me so badly in the last couple of years. Oh, listen, they're just all a bunch of twats. Let's be honest about it. We shouldn't waste our time. The only person to look up to is Eric Cantona, right? I've decided. Although the kung fu kick he did to the fan is worse than what Will Smith did at the Oscars, and worse probably than what Ezra Miller's done, although what Ezra Miller's done is pretty bad. But he's the King Eric. We forgive him. Henry, what's the window warning you are getting, Mick? They're just disclaimers for videos going up on YouTube. I subscribe to a lot of YouTube channels. Bat Super, if Snyder comes... excuse me. Bat Super, if Superman... where am I? Bat Super, if Snyder comes back, I would like to see Margot's Harley directed by him. I don't think he would go anywhere near her. Did you notice how he decided not to add her in the Snyder Cut and he actually killed her off in it, off screen? Trojo, if Superman could jump out the comic page and come from space onto this Earth right now. If only. Isaac makes sense. It's Trojo. Really, all of them? Even the Aquaman actor and Wonder Woman actor? It's complicated, isn't it? It's difficult. They've made it difficult. Henrik, thanks for answering. Nice flow in the chat now. No Voldemort or copycats. Android 180XX. Well, unfortunately, Voldemort always comes back, even in the story. Philip Stevens, 45. So during the span of the MCU, a lot of actors, actresses, and directors did despicable things, yet no one ever said restart that universe. I'll explain to you why, Philip Stevens, 45. Because that universe was working as a universe. It makes money. Nobody gives a shit, right, about them misbehaving, right? So no one's going to talk about it. The DCEU is a franchise with no consumer confidence, right? It's a mess. People are confused by it. They don't know what's canon, what's not canon, right? And people have seen them. I don't know what MCU people you're talking about, because we're talking about a man. I forgot he's not a man. They are going out in Hawaii, right? And attacking people, being violent, being abusive. And we know what Amber Heard's done. So I don't know what you're talking about, Marvel. I think you're trying to put some propaganda out there. Red Panda, I don't remember anyone doing things like Amber Heard. No, exactly. Trill J, Isaac, yes, all them. Yes, Batman who sprays people up, man, Superman who destroys the earth. Yes, Wonder Woman who hates men, goodbye. Well, I don't think Wonder Woman hates men, does she? In the DCEU. Henry, you talked about a story when the grown-ups come back. It never heard about it. Can you tell us more? I don't know what you're talking about. Renaud Jatlow, don't give a pathetic troll the privilege of being called Voldemort. Yeah, it's a bit of an honour, really, isn't it? Android 118XX. Henry, don't worry, he's going to rewatch all this to feed himself. Isaac makes edits. Trill J. Now, I think you're taking a piss, mate. Batman sprays people, Superman destroys the earth, and Wonder Woman who hate men. What are you on? Henrik from the It universe, baby. No, I was talking about another Stephen King novel called Sometimes They Come Back. And they made it into a film starring Tim Matheson. Very good film. Search it out. Trill J. Isaac, did you not watch those movies? But when did Wonder Woman hate men, my friend? Who did Batman spray? I don't understand. Batman wasn't spraying people up. He was shooting in a particular direction and they chose to stand there. Why didn't they get out of the way? Philip Stevens 45. Also, the people that love the Hamada-verse, Hamada hired James Gunn, a person who made several pedophilic tweets, but James Gunn is bulletproof, right? First of all, they're not the tweets that he made. They were jokes. They were jokes in bad taste, but they weren't what you say they were, for sure, right? So what he said didn't break any laws, right? Amber Heard has broken the law. She's allegedly hit the man on multiple occasions. Ezra Miller has been going out and hurting people. There's no justification here, Philip Stevens 45. Your propaganda may work on Twitter and Snyderverse Twitter. It isn't going to work here. And I love the Snyderverse, but I don't deal with propaganda very well. I don't react to fake propaganda very well. James Gunn made a great movie. He made a great series on HBO Max. He's good at what he does, right? So the Hamadaverse doesn't work. It's a bastardized franchise taken from Snyder. But let's not start spreading propaganda, the crap that I hear on Twitter. Henrik, sorry delay. Who's going to rewatch this? Sounded like you called me a troll. No, don't know what you're talking about. Android 118 XX. What are your thoughts on the Monsterverse that was happening until the failure of the Mummy reboot? Nothing, it's dead. Isaac Mike said it's Trill J. Yeah, multiple times. Trill J, Isaac, did you not see Batman shooting all those people? Did you not see world turn to ash in the nightmare scene? Did you not see Josh Whedon have Wonder Woman talking crazy to Batman like a nobody? I remember that, yeah. Right, but you can't prove that, Philip Stevens. You can't prove that, right? So I would assume most of them are, but you can't prove it. He hasn't actually broken the law. That's the problem. But Amber Heard, someone you seem to be defending, and Ezra Miller, someone you seem to be defending because you're probably, a really deep Snyder fan. So how can you defend them? I'm not defending James Gunn. I'm saying there's no proof he is what you say he is there? That doesn't prove anything, or he'd be in prison, right? And that's what it is. When there's proof he's done something like that, if he's hurt children, I'll be the first to go and get the handcuffs on him. Don't worry about that. Bat Super, I hope a year or two from now, we are all watching an assault rifle in the nightmare scene. I read it wrong. Bat Super, I hope a year or two from now we are... I missed it. Sorry. Trill J, oh my bad. I guess you all ain't seen Batman holding an assault rifle in the nightmare scene. Henrik, Bat Super, hugs. Reno Jack Android, that Tom Cruise Mummy movie was a dumpster fire before it even released. Yeah, because he literally turned the Mummy movie, Cruise, into a bloody Mission Impossible movie. Trill J, Bat Super, we need that Superman film a year from now. Waited too long. Agreed. Android 180 XX. Do you think the Monsterverse had potential? I was excited about it before that Mummy reboot happened. It had something. Yeah, I mean, they had Russell Crowe in it, but Tom Cruise shouldn't be in a monster universe. Isaac makes edits. What's wrong with Batman using guns? Snyder's take on Batman is a messed up one. Isaac makes edits. He's a broken Batman, even more so fan than Battinson. Yeah. Batman fans don't want Batman using guns. That's why. Batman Trilogy, if they get to work soon. Bat Super, Henrik. That was a lot. We have 7 viewers. We have 9 likes. Still on 9 likes. If you haven't liked the video, if you ain't liked the stream, if you haven't liked Movies TV Mad Live, like it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. And if you have subscribed, please make sure you are subscribed. Thank you for that like, whoever did that. We have a poll, 25 votes. What will you see first? Avatar 2, 20%. Shazam, Fury of the Gods, 80%. Trill J, Bat Super, when Man of Steel and BVS came out, the world was way better. Why do you think the world is messed up now? We need these films to preach being a hero, not a hypocrite, woke person. Red Panda, it is a different take on the Batman. What are you all on? When you say Affleck's Batman is bad because he kills, when Marvel Mad Hulk's so lame and weak, nobody complained so much about that. I did. One bad narrative doesn't make another narrative that takes the character away from his source material right. I love the Snyderverse. I love BVS. But people's complaints, my friend, are valid. Bat Super, I wonder if Batman will use guns in the beginning of Batman the Cape Crusader because of the 1930s setting, but then he develops his anti-gun stance. Henrik, can you freaking believe Man of Steel came out in 2013, filmed 10 years ago, and the CGI is almost peaked today? It's better than any MCU CGI. Not saying a lot, by the way, because MCU CGI is shit. But yeah, Man of Steel, Snyder CGI is always top level. No one does VFX better than Zack. Trill J, Red Panda, why would you have a Justice League Batman killing? Tell me, if he wasn't in the DCU, I wouldn't care. But why the main Batman killing, bro? I agree with Triljo. If it was Elseworld, it's acceptable. Henrik, Falk, yes. Preach, Mickey. I am a preacher. I am a man of the gods. No, I'm not. I'm not. Reno Jack, Bad Super, not a chance, Bruce. Tim is charge of that show, and it's another version of the animated series. There will be no guns. Quite right, too. Henrik, Mickey, for season 4 of Titans, you could play a priest. Sorry, I missed you. Hang on. Let's get rid of this. Sorry, Trill J. Bruno Jack, Bat Super, not a chance. All right, we've been here. Isaac makes sense. It's true, Jay. What you just said proves to me you never understood Snyder's Batman. Batman creating the Justice League is when Batman began to have hope. Android 118XX. Batman doesn't use guns in BVS apart from his Batmobile or Nightwing scene, nightmare scene of Batman using guns is most likely due to the lack of resources and destruction caused Darkseid. Plus, he's angry. Bat Super. Reno Jack, you might be right about the gun, but it will be a lot more adult than Batman animated series. Bruce will have more creative freedom. Bruce Timm is a comic book man. He's faithful to the comics. Batman ain't gonna have no guns. Forget it. You're deluding yourselves. This is Movies TV Mad Live. It doesn't make sense. Why else would you cast? Who else would you cast as Wonder Woman, Mick? Well, Gal Gadot was an unknown when she came in, so you'd have to go for an unknown. You couldn't get a famous woman to play that role. Trilogy, Isaac, I understand Snyder's Batman. You've just proved to me why he should have been Elseworld. It doesn't matter how the world is. Justice League Batman will never pick up a gun and shoot someone. He won't. Or actually brand him. Or brand a person. Red Panda, City or Liverpool for winning the league? Well, City in prime position, but all they have to do is a mistake or two, and Liverpool are going to get in there. I want City to win the Champions League. I'm a United fan, but I want City to win the Champions League and the league. That will be less painful than Liverpool winning a quadruple. I don't want anyone to dig the treble, the quadruple. Bat Super, I agree with you on my gun idea. He probably won't ever do that. But I do think he's definitely going to do something controversial. He isn't afraid to go against the comics, Bruce. And Babs hooking up, yeah. But it's nothing like what Snyder did. And it's never going to be PG or 18 or, R-rated or anything like that. Andrew at 118 Douglas, I don't want Justice League or Superman to change Batman. I want him to still stay as a jerk of unsociable personality. That's how Batman always been with people apart from chicks. Really? Where have you seen that? Trill J, And what's crazy, I don't care about being Batman killing it. Oh, that's silly nitpick. But bro, come on. Now this is an HBO Max. It's the DCEU. Exactly. Listen, Batman isn't a dark character in a lot of graphic novels. He is in some of them, but most of the time, he's more the brave and the bold Batman than he is the Snyder Batman, or even the Burton Batman, or even the Nolan Batman. A lot of you compare Batman, you look at Batman, the rules for Batman, via the live action media rather than the comics. Clearly, a lot of people were upset by the treatment of Batman and Superman by Zack Snyder, and that's comic book people. Why does it make sense? It's not everything needs to be faithful to the comics. But that's the problem, Isaac makes edits. What is faithful to the comics? Burton's not faithful to the comics. Snyder's not faithful to the comics, right? Nolan's not faithful to the comics. Someone somewhere should be faithful to the comics. So not everything, but nothing's faithful to the comics mostly. Only Matt Reeves has come in and been faithful to the comics. Andrew Asian XX Batman is an introvert. Trilogy, I actually like the killing. I love Batman in the nightmare scene. He had to adapt, but these fans have a point. Henrik, what are your hopes for the stream today, Mickey? What shall we answer and ask for? Well, we're 2 hours into the stream, Henrik. It's a bit late for any wishes and hopes. I'm going to sign off soon. I've been talking non-stop for over 2 hours. Trilogy, well, Matt Reeves is actually very faithful to the comics. Exactly. The way you should be. Because he's a comic book fan. We don't get enough comic book stars who are talented enough to make these movies. Wonder Woman was written by a Wonder Woman comic book writer. It's a great movie. And it's the same with this. When there's a love for the source material, it hits different, doesn't it? But you don't get Snyder to deal with Superman and Batman. Andrew at 108 I always said, why can't we just be fully faithful to the comics from day one? Reno Jack, the lack of faithfulness to the comics is why you people think Batman is only what they've seen in previous movies. Exactly. Isaac makes it so Matt Reeves should create his own universe once he establishes his Batman and Gotham. If that's what he wants to do, I'm not sure that it is. Make his own universe once he establishes that, blah, blah, blah. Henrik, okay, I was walking my kitten because I got him off a foster home. Got to learn the surroundings. Also, who the frack is going to watch DC Super Pets? Well, kids and families probably. Let's see. It'll probably be a flop as well. They're a useless company. Let's see if the new ownership, the new leadership can do anything with them. Because at this moment in time, they are a fucking embarrassment. Trill J, Reno, I have to disagree. The faithfulness to the comics is why we as DC can't progress before fans of DC. We want the same type of character for decades, unlike the MCU, who can't change any and accept. I didn't really understand that. Android 109 WX, do you have pets, Mick, or do you plan to? Well, I didn't buy any pets. I've got some stray cats that I feed when I can be bothered, but I don't have, I didn't buy any pets. I don't like dogs, by the way. I hate dogs. Henry, okay, Mick the Rick, why haven't we got an animated DC film in cinemas? My wish is a Batman Beyond. It could be incredible. Well, there's a lot of things they could be doing, Henry, but at least DC have got a great animated franchise. Reno Jack, I had a friend that said he thought the narration parts in the Batman were dumb. Oh, God. I had to explain to him that literally every comic had Batman narration and inner thoughts. It's not narration. Is pretty cool, actually, in stories. So, yeah, I don't get that. Trill Snyder made a very good film, so much better than any MCU film in recent years. Just go away. Jesus Christ. In recent years, yet fans want to say, oh, that's not comic book accurate and dislike it for a small mistake. Well, This is what I'm saying to you, Triljo. Nothing, apart from the Batman, was comic book accurate. We hardly ever get any comic book accuracy. So we turn Superman into a battering ram. That's not who Superman is, right? People want to watch Superman. They're doing Superman because he's popular. But if you take away what he is in the source material, people are not going to watch your stuff. That's why, Triljo. Henrik, who wants a super awesome DC animated movie in the cinemas? Me. Isaac makes edits. Once Man City win the Champions League, and if they win the league, will they officially become the best team in the last 5 years? Yes, but it doesn't matter because Manchester United dominated for 20 years. Android 118 XX. I love the fact that the criminals were afraid of the shadows in the Batman movie, and that music was playing at the background. It was amazing. Bruno Jack Triljo, I'm all for creators putting their own spin on Batman, as am I, but in turn, you get all that hot takes about emo Bruce and too much dialogue in detective work. Those aspects are staples of Batman. Android 118 XX, I am the shadows. Henrik, why have Man U been so rubbish and used more than City the last 5 years? Is it just the board, like the players playing for Man U now, besides Ronaldo, belonging Championship? Manchester United, obviously, dominated for so many years. Then our emperor, our manager who made that happen, Sir Alex, left, and it went downhill. That's not a surprise. Managerial appointments are another reason as well. They picked the wrong guys at the wrong time. And the players they brought in and everything, it's all wrong. Henrik, Android, I'm the green one. Android 118 XX, Henrik, lol, good one. Triljo, Reno Jack, duh, but people are just now figuring out Batman is emo. Come on, bro. He lives in a cave and wears a bat suit. Is that not emo? One of the best bits in the Batman is when Bruce comes down in the morning and he kind of looks at the window and the sun's, he's like he's a vampire or something, because I just think that's great because he's always indoors. So the bright light would affect him. I thought that's something people didn't really notice, I don't think. Henry, maybe WB owns Man U and Arsenal. I missed the time when Arsenal and Man U were battling for 1 and 2 places. Oh, those battles between Sir Alex and Wenger. Oh my God. Amazing times. Amazing times. Isaac makes edits. I have a theory that the Joker in the Batman will escape Arkham using paperclip, which supposedly he took from my Batman in the Joker deleted scene. The problem is, because it's deleted, how can it be part of the thing? I mean, it can still escape. Well, we're not meant, it's not canon if it's not in the film, right? Henrik, high five there, me, Mickey, 1, 2, 3, boom, Trill J. Mickey, yeah, I love that, especially when he put on the shades. Yeah, I wish they'd kept the scene when he reads the newspaper. Andrew at 108 XX loved the backflip move Batman made with his double grapple guns at the final fight. Very cool, very cool. It's a great movie. And if they don't continue this franchise, of course, it's out fucking rageous, isn't it? I just can't wait until I get my 4K Blu-ray. Isaac makes edits, and once Joker escapes, he will grow his hair out, paint his face, covering his burns, and I can see this Joker wearing a very classy suit with gloves. Yeah, the costume he wears will be interesting. Henrik, I think I should buy the Zack Snyder trilogy. Is it in 4K, Mickey? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You can buy all Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Zack Snyder's Justice League all in 4K. Reno Jack. The scene where they show the scars on Bruce's back as he's walking into the room is straight from the pages of War on Crime by Alex Ross. Yeah, it's, as I say, very faithful. Trilogy, bro, that hallway scene was peak Shadow's Batman. Yeah, brilliant. So it'd just be a shame not to get any more. The studio don't know what they're doing, that's for sure. Isaac makes edits. I really hope they make Batman's suit even better, because though Pattinson is my favourite suit, there are still some change I would have liked to see done. Henrik Mickey, it's hella expensive to get those movies. What the fuck is it, around 90 euros in Norway? I have no idea because I'm not in Norway. I think to get those, well, you can buy a pack, I think. I don't know how much that is. I think that's about 40 quid, 40 euros. Right, let's finish off this stream. I've been here for over 2 hours, believe it or not. Time goes fast when you're having fun. I've had fun anyway. So, my poll, what will you see first? Avatar 2, 20%. It stayed on 20, and Shazam Fury of the Gods remains on 80%. So, you lot, here, the people who come on here, my subscribers, would rather watch Shazam Fury of the Gods than Avatar 2 first, and I do agree with you. Henrik, anyone, someone, Ratty Mickey boy, someone, by the way, Ratty Mickey boy, right, I don't know what you're talking about. Trill Isaac, I think what it is might to be that we didn't see all his gadgets. Batman is just getting around in this movie, so the next will be even better than the last movies. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. This is a work in progress, isn't it? And that's the whole point of the Batman. This has been Movies TV Mad. I'm Nick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss this beautiful perfection. And I'll see you tomorrow morning with the DCEU Daily. Until I see you again, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen. See you later. And thank you for the support and the comments and everything. It's been a great stream. Our Android 118XX, auf Wiedersehen. Henrik, bye, Tank Top Papa. Reno Jack, have a great one, Mick. And oh, you too, Reno Jack. Thank you very much, everyone. And I'll see you again soon. Have a lovely Friday.